Okay, now our own version of Kenny G is going to be joined by somebody else very special.
Kenny G goes country.
Kenny, if you heard her this morning and you were wowed by her this morning, and now you get to hear her again, singing with Steve Norman accompanying, please welcome Caitlin McIntyre.
Thank you all so much. You will be hearing more from Steve Norman, but not on this song. I'd like to share something with you that has always meant a lot to me as a song. You know, here in the NFB, we help each other out a lot, right? We do. We're there for each other. When someone stumbles, we want to lift them back up. We want to encourage them to be the best version of themselves, to raise those expectations and live the lives they want, right? So this song talks a little bit about that. It's You Raise Me Up.
Oh, wow. If I hear this song.
When I am down and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
All right. Thank you. Beautiful. So now, I said Steve was accompanying on that one, but that was incorrect. He's on the next song. So joining Steve and Caitlin this time, there are two singing James Browns. My favorite one is here tonight. It's not because he's the only one alive either. So this, you're going to hear a traditional song that many of you have heard that really speaks to what the National Federation of the Blind stands for. Please welcome Steve Norman, Caitlin McIntyre, and James Brown.
Steve.
Yeah. Hello, Steve.
You have to eat that.
Do you want this?
Hold on.
Testing.
So Steve, you're gonna take the verses and we're gonna come in on the chorus. Is that the way it's gonna work? And we're gonna improv off each other.
Yeah.
So this is totally unplanned. So this is just gonna be fun for us. Hopefully it won't be. Hopefully it'll be fun for you too.
It will.
Y'all ready?
And this mic is hot.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Lucy.
That was Christina.
Was that Christina? Okay, thank you, Christina.
Hey, James. Try going a little bit to your right so you're not directly in front of the speakers. See if that helps.
Check. Well,
Helps a little bit.
yeah, it's a little better.
Y'all ready?
Are we going totally? The song's a little low too for me, so we'll see how this works. Live the life you want, nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine. We got good news. You can live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth. Take it, Steve. Change the way. That's what we're doing. You will see, yeah. Live the life you want. Nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine. We got good news. You can live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth. When you and me lives on forever. You will see, yeah. You can live the life you want. Nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine. We got good news. You can live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth. Live the life you want, yeah. Transforming dreams into reality, yeah. I'm gonna sing the birds. Listen to this. Rise up and let's get moving. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Rise up and let's get moving. We're gonna make a change. Rise up and let's get moving. Tomorrow's a brand new day. Rise up and let's get moving. We're gonna make a change. Sing it. Live the life you want. Nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine. Got good news. You can live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth. So you can live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth. And now you know the truth. That's right.
James Brown, Crystal Gale, and PG up here.
Great job.
All right, great job, guys. If you're new to the NFB and you're just sort of here for your first time and you're just checking us out to see what we're all about, listen to the words to that song. The lyrics are in your program. Look at what those lyrics say. And that's what the National Federation is all about, because we believe you can live the life you want. James Brown put that to music, and James wrote that song, or co-wrote it. And so we appreciate him doing it. Every time you call Baltimore, the National Center,
It's on there. It's on there.
you hear it.
Yes, you do.
You hear James Brown.
Yes.
So yeah, good job. Good job, Steve. I personally, if it was up to me, I would just cancel the rest of the program and just let them jam. But that's not that's something we don't have the option of doing because our national rep would go back to Mr. Riccobono.
I'm on the phone with him right now.
And we wouldn't let him speak at banquets. So now the next, if you haven't noticed, as Christina said, the agenda says that Jason Fox is your master of ceremonies. I am not Jason Fox, but at all of the Tennessee Business Enterprise annual statewide managers meetings, we have karaoke, and there's a lot of alcohol involved and a lot of bad singing involved. Some good singing, but a lot of bad singing, and then there's some dancing involved. And Jason is known for break dancing. So, in the absence of Jason, I'm going to break dance for you. I'll break my freaking neck, so I'll break. Well, I'm sorry. We don't have time for Josh to find the music, so we'll forget that. So if it's okay with you, I like to have fun at these things. I want to tell you a joke, maybe two, but I'll tell you a joke anyway, because I know that our next speaker has some jokes too. I want to tell you a joke that I actually heard this joke from Mark Riccobono, the president of the National Federation of the Blind. And I was in leadership training, and he told the joke, and he actually read it from something he had read, and I turned it into a joke. And I've gotten a lot of mileage out of it. This is probably the last time I'll ever get to use it, because I don't think I've told it to this group. But anyway, the story goes that there was a woman, and she had a son, and the son was off at college, and the son had a female roommate. Now, mom thought something was going on between her son and her his roommate. But the son insisted, no, mom, it's not like that at all. We're roommates, we're friends, and there's nothing going on, I assure you. Mom wasn't so sure. So mom goes over and has dinner with her son and his roommate. And dinner goes well. They're sitting there, they eat, they enjoy dinner, everything goes fine. She leaves, she goes home, and 3 days later, the female goes to the male and she says, my sugar bowl is missing. She said, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's been missing ever since your mom was here for dinner. And he said, well, I can't call mom and tell her asked her if she stole our sugar bowl. And he says, let me think about it. So he said, 3 days later, he comes back. He's like, I got an idea. I want to send mom an email. And he writes the email. He says, Mom, I'm not saying you stole the sugar bowl, and I'm not saying you didn't, but the sugar bowl has been missing ever since you were here for dinner. No response. A couple of days later, email comes back. Son, I'm not saying you're sleeping with that girl, and I'm not saying you're not, but if she'd looked in her bed, she'd have found that sugar bowl a week ago. So you can use that, okay? So the moral of that story is, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but the moral of that story is you can't get anything by mama. And I can tell you my mama's 87 years old, and I can't get anything by her still. So just keep that in mind. But the bad news is you laughed. That means there's a second joke. Yeah. So the second joke is there was a man and there was a woman, and they were on a train. It was one of those overnight trips, and they had reservations in one of the sleeping cars. And they went to the room, and there's a mistake had been made, and they weren't married, they didn't know each other, and they'd both been booked in the same sleeping berth. It's a little awkward situation, and they're exhausted, they're tired, they need some sleep. And so the man says, listen, we're adults. Says, I'm exhausted. I'll sleep on the bottom berth. You sleep on the. He says, you sleep on the bottom berth. I'll sleep on the top berth, and everything will be fine. She says, okay. Well, in the middle of the night, he's freezing up on that top berth, and he leans over the berth. He says, ma'am, would you mind getting me a blanket? I'm freezing. She says, I got a better idea. And he says, what? He says, just for tonight and tonight only, let's pretend we're married. He says, all right, this sounds good. She said, yeah, get your own damn blanket. Only the married people laugh at that joke. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there. I've got a whole list of them on my phone up here. I just go to it. I check them out every now and then when I get new jokes. And since I wasn't prepared to do this tonight, so please allow me to introduce the head table. Starting at my left and your right, unless your back's to me, that it's your left. But anyway, to my left and your right, at the far end of the table, you heard him today. You heard him twice. Nationally recognized expert and advocate in the field of blindness from Blindness Inc. in Minnesota, Dick Davis. Next to him is the wife of our national representative and our who is also going to be speaking tonight, Miss Judy Ruffalo. Next to her is Joe Ruffalo, who I'll be introducing shortly, and who you heard earlier today. Then we have, next to Joe, we have our president from Memphis, Tennessee, serving her first term as president of the National Federation of the Blind of Tennessee, Christina Clift. To my immediate right is my date for tonight. Is hey, she's a married woman. I'm a married man. She told me to get my own blanket. So anyway, we're digressing here, you know. To my right, please welcome Lucy Alexander Mahan, and I don't know how many other names she's got, but I know I can. Yeah, thank you. She will always be Lucy Alexander because that's how I knew her. And I'll just say this: she talked today, and she was amazing, was she not? And Lucy, I want you to know this: I can remember when you asked me about applying for that job.
Yes.
I can remember.
We were here.
I can remember when Greg Trapp, who is the director of the Services for the Blind in New Mexico, and he called me on the telephone, and we had a long conversation about Lucy and whether or not she could handle that job out there at the orientation center. And, you know, I lied and said I thought she could. No. I thought that, it was perfect. And I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'll tell you what I told Lucy at the time. Lucy, we're loaning you to New Mexico. And when the time comes right, we're bringing you home to lead our agency. And that's been the plan ever since she went out there. We haven't quite implemented that plan. There's been a few stumbling blocks, but one day we will bring her home. I promise you it'll happen, and you'll see the philosophy that she talked about in Tennessee. Next to Lucy is the president of the volunteer chapter. Speaking of volunteers, they beat Kentucky today. Go Vols! President of the volunteer chapter, Greg Self. And I've known Greg about as long as anybody in this room. He is one of the blind vendors of the Tennessee Business Enterprise Program. He may not claim it, and I said he would never make it in this program, and he reminded me of that yesterday. He's been in the program 20 years. And I said, well, you still haven't made it yet. So he still, 25 years. So I said, but he still hadn't made it. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but we'll see. And next to him is his wife, Misty, and we welcome and appreciate all of the head table. Let's hear it for everybody at the head table. Okay, it is a tradition at these conferences that at our banquet, we get to hear from our national rep who is attending. We have been blessed with some really great representatives from that Baltimore has sent to us. This year is no exception. Joe Ruffalo, who is the president of the National Federation of the Blind in New Jersey and a member of the National Federation of the Blind Board of Directors, is here. I work very closely with Nikki Gakos. Nikki Gakos is the president of the National Association of Blind Merchants. I can't say I work closely with him. He's my boss, and so I do whatever he tells me. And so I'm familiar with New Jersey. He's told me stories about Joe that I can't tell you. But anyway, please welcome from New Jersey, Joe Ruffalo.
Good day, everyone. Well, it's a good day. Someplace it's a day. Australia, someplace, whatever. We heard some great music tonight. And we probably would say encore when you hear those guys sing, right? When I sing, people yell out, no more. So I will not even try that tonight. We heard some pretty good jokes. I'm going to give you one now, too. I'll find out if you think it's a good one or not. For 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep. Nervous wreck. Coming to Tennessee, meeting all my good friends here. I would dream every night I was at TP. The next night, a wigwam. Went on for 2 weeks. Confided at Judy. Judy, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm dreaming I'm a TP, wigwam, TP. So go to the doctor and find out. So I went to the doctor. I said, Doc, going to Tennessee, nervous wreck. A kid's coming in from California with his lovely bride. That's the way I introduced you. You like that one? Okay. My son Joe and Patina are here tonight. So. I promised I wouldn't embarrass him too much, but a little bit. So anyway, I couldn't sleep. Doctor said, Joe, what's your problem? Doc, wigwam, TP, wigwam. Every night, I can't sleep. Oh, I know what that is. Well, what is it? You're just too tense.
Oh.
Now remember, I'm from New Jersey where boos and moans mean good job. You just got it. Okay, that's my one joke for the night. Maybe get some more. Who knows? Now let's practice this. We practiced it all day. Yesterday, a little bit today. I'm going to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Let's hear it. Hey, how you doing? What's it to you? Very good. Now you can go back to New Jersey, get mugged by the first person you meet, and you'll be all set. No problem. Greetings from President Riccobono. As I said earlier, he wished he could be here today. I'm kind of glad he's not here. He would have said, Joe, get me material, please. But that's okay. But welcome from our national office. Tonight is my banquet speech, my 36th time doing this. I'm going to share some stories with you. I like stories. You like stories?
Yes.
You like true stories?
Yes.
I might as well sit down then. No. These are all true stories, okay? You're celebrating your 50th anniversary as a state affiliate, correct?
Yes.
Let's hear it for 50 years. I'm also celebrating my 50th year as I went to Vietnam 50 years ago next week. And I say that because I was a young kid, 19 years old, turned 20 while I was there, came back to the States, was on a plane to come home. A woman approached me, asked me if I was leaving the service or going in the service. I said, no, I'm done. Going home. Where did you serve? I said, I served in Vietnam. She leaned over, waiting for a little kiss on the cheek, and she spit in my face. Oh. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I say that because life, you just don't know how people see you or treat you or whatever. So if you want to lean over later, any lady here, please kiss me on the cheek. No, but so I came back to the service, started working in Miles and Tom McCann shoe stores, did quite well. It was 1976 when I and my brother Richard, who's 2 years younger than I, were having some difficulty seeing. And we went to every doctor we could find. In fact, I worked for Tom McCann and Miles Shoes at the time, and they told me, Joe, take as much time off as you need. We want you back. We believe in you. I said, but boss, you don't understand. I think I got a thing called RP. He said, what's RP? I said, I'm not sure, but RP. Oh, it means real poor. Real poor eyesight. I wasn't sure what it meant. So he said, take 6 weeks off and get your back pocket to work. So I took 6 weeks off, called him on the phone. He offered me a job back. I said, I can't manage anymore. I could sell. So he put me back in Willowbrook Mall, which was the store I started in, very busy mall. After 2 days, I called him up and said, boss, I can't sell. I know I could be a manager. And again, this is the New Jersey area. He's an Italian boss. He said some words I will not repeat tonight. And I know it took you 2 days to realize that. We have a store for you. We want to make your store a training store. You're going to have so much help in your store. We want you to train managers. We want you to be a mentor to new people. And for 7 years, I worked as a blind manager. I couldn't tell brown from black shoes. I couldn't tell a $5 bill from a $1 bill. But I had enough help and to train them. And so this is 76, before the ADA. Incredible. This man believed in me before I believed in myself. It came to a point where I was going, when the doctor told my brother and I, we asked the doctor, we're macho Italian men, don't sugarcoat it, doc. We want to know the truth. You're going to be blind someday. So he didn't hold his punches back. So I went through my ADA stage. The first stage is anger. I didn't say, oh, doctor, I can't wait to go blind. This is going to be a wonderful challenge in my life. I'm looking forward to it. I was pretty angry. I remember going home and ripping a kitchen door off its hinges and throwing glasses against the wall. I was angry. Doctor said, Joe, you should not drive. I had a brand new car. I went back to my mom's house. I said, wait a minute. He said, should not. He did not say, could not. So I got in my car. I'm on the Parkway, Jersey Parkway. Paid my toll. No oncoming traffic. No traffic lights. It's noon. There's no shadows emerging from the slow lane into the middle lane. Windows are down. Music is playing. Ha! I could do this. My antenna started to vibrate. And I hear somebody yell out, "You son of a beeswax!" It was. I got to clean up. I'm on tape. I don't know. But I just missed a man on the side of the road who was sweeping, cleaning, brooming, whatever he was doing. And the sweat just ran over my body. I made my U-turn, went back to my mom's house. She lives off the Parkway. Called 411, got the information to place my brand new car. Just had it 6 months. Ad in the paper. Made my call, placed the ad, hung up the phone, looked at the ceiling, and began to curse God. Why are you doing this to me? I could have been killed a half a dozen times in Vietnam. Why would you save me to go through a life of blindness? I sat there for a few more minutes. Cold sweat came down my neck. Looked back at the ceiling and said, okay, you got a plan. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but there's a reason for everything.
Yes, there is.
It took me a little time to realize that because I was only vision impaired. I don't need a cane. I don't want a cane. I don't look like I'm blind. And by that time, I already had met Judy. We got married. Joe was about 4 or 5 years old. Some of you had guide dogs your whole life. I had a guide kid. I was depending on a 4 or 5-year-old kid to cross streets. How sad. How sad. How sad. He was good at it, though. He was good at it. I'm here today. Proof. We're walking. I was baking at that time. I started a little bakery business. So we went to the store, and I had milk in the paper bag, and bread and eggs and all that kind of stuff. We're walking home, and the men in town were working on a ditch, water ditch. And I said, Joe, let me step over the ditch, and then I'll turn around and pick you over. Okay, Dad. Well, I thought the ditch was maybe 1.5 feet wide. It was a little much wider than that, and much deeper than I thought. So I fell into the ditch. As I'm falling into the ditch full of mud, I turned the bag to break my fall. and I went down, milk's all over the place, eggs are cracked. I'm laying in the bottom, laughing and shaking, my body's shaking, and what guys are running down. Oh, I stood up, I looked like a piece of French toast. I was bread, egg, milk all over the place. And then I heard words that I've never forgotten. Words from a 4-year-old kid. Daddy, you need to use a cane. Smarter than I. And from that time on, I used a cane. I fired it as my guide dog. As my guide, you're fired. Chip off the old block. I'm telling you, it's good. So now I'm in denial stage. We're baking. Trying to accept it a little bit. This I'm only vision impaired, whatever. So I get an invitation to go to a luncheon in Bloomfield, where I live, and it's sponsored by the other group, the other national group. I'm not going to say ACB, but but I didn't want to go. But Joe, we have food. All right, I'm there. So I went, and I entered to the room, registration table in the back, and I said who I was, and oh, you're a guest of so-and-so. Yes, I am. What eye disease do you have? I said, RP. RP, table 7. Table 7. So I go sit at table 7, trying to be nice and courteous to people. I start talking to some people. I remember woman on my right, woman on my left. I'm in the middle of talking to this one woman. All of a sudden, she yells out, Henry! Henry! Guy comes running from the back of the room. Yes, Mary, wipe my mouth. I said, wipe my, this has got to be me. She can't even wipe her mouth. The other lady's sitting there saying, wait here, pour my water. Pours the water. Now I'm really scared. One woman said, why did they give us peas? Blind people can't eat peas.
Oh my God. Excuse them?
So I said to myself, I'm really not fond of peas, but I'm eating peas. I want peas. Give me her portion. So I ate my peas, and they poured my water, and they poured my coffee. I think they even stirred it. I think they tried to drink it for me, too. I'm not even sure. It was over. I was leaving, and the woman said, what do you think? No, this isn't for me. She said, I didn't think it would be. But then she gave me really the advice that we all have heard before. Whatever you do, don't join the NFB. They're militant and radical. Don't worry, I'm not joining anything. I had enough of this stuff. I'm done. I'm playing goal ball one day with my good friend David Dinataris. He says, Joe, you need to meet my sister Gerald. She's a member of NFB, and you need the NFB. I said, what are you talking about? I'll kid you. I'm like 34. He's like 14 at the time. You're telling me what I got to do? So he introduced me to Gerald, and she says about this meeting they're having in Newark and whatever. I said, well, first of all, it's the National Federation of the Blind. I mean, remember, militant, radical. Blind. I'm not blind. I'm only vision impaired. And she said to me, basically, take the chip off your shoulder and come. Well, I wanted her. I'm from New Jersey. Not that I want to hit anybody, but I wanted to strangle her. I don't hit anybody, strangle. But it got to a point where this isn't right. She called me for 6 straight months to go to a meeting. 6 months. For 5 of those months, I had excuses, some valid, some not. Finally, it came to phone call. Judy goes, Joe, Jones on the phone. Oh, girl, just give up. Judy, look, I'll do. I'll go to the meeting, be nice, eat their food and leave. I'm not going to join anything. Joe, you know if you're going to go, you got to, Judy, I'm not joining. No way. I am not. Now I'm really determined not to join, no matter what I hear. So I go to this meeting, and I'm riding in the car, and I keep hearing militant, radical. Downtown Newark, militant, radical. We put in front of the hotel. I'm envisioning blind guys standing at the door with sawed-off shotguns, grenade launchers. It's militant and radical. What am I? We go in, I meet lovely people. 10, 12 people were there, all totally blind. I had more vision than them. I'm better off No, they were doing things that I wanted to do. After the meeting, who was going down Atlantic City? Who was going here? I'm still using my guide kid to go places. They're doing everything that I want to do. Joe, would you like a cup of coffee? Sure, I would like a cup of coffee. Figured it was like the other group, they get it for you. And the president said, on the left is decaf, on the right is regular. So I went up there and got my 16-ounce styrofoam mug. I said, ha, they want to see if I can pour a cup of coffee. I'll show them. So I went, I poured my decaf coffee in there, sat back down, and the hardest thing to do, try it sometime, is to nurse a half ounce of coffee for 2 hours. I was determined not to spill it. That's how much coffee I put in there. And it was tough, but I did it. Half ounce coffee for 2 hours. While at the meeting, they were talking about lots of things. And before I left for the meeting, I told Judy, I'm not going to join. Joe, you can join. Judy, I'm not joining. I said, tell you what, I'll make a bet. If I join, we're going to have to dinner tonight. If not, go to the store and make veal cutlet. So she turns out, boys, don't get dirty. We're going out tonight. Joe, now really determined not to join. No, I'm not going to join now. Sitting there, listening to the meeting, some fundraising item came up, and trying to be kind, they invited me to this meeting. I followed the procedure and said, Madam President, I am a volunteer in my town. We've done these 2 fundraisers. I told her what it was, and she turned to the secretary, put Joe down for fundraising, and next meeting we'll report further. Now I'm saying, wait a minute. Now I'm really not going to join. But what convinced me, I sat down, I don't know if they purposely put, in those days, the tape player in front of me, and they played the presidential message. I swore Mark Mara was in that room next to me with his arms around me, encouraging me to be the man that I can be. Listen to that presidential report. I knew I had to join. I paid my $5, came home, tried to sneak through the side door. Judy was there, tiptoed past her. Wait, where you going? Oh, I didn't join her. Joe, I know you do. I could tell. So I said, Judy, sit at the kitchen table. She did. I said, I finally met an organization made up of people who believe in me. See, when I was scared about this stuff, the only blind person I knew in my town was a guy we called Blind Jim. Now, Blind Jim seemed to be a nice guy. He was a guide dog user. He sat on the corner of Bluefield Avenue and Broad Street, a very busy corner for buses. His dog was all matted down. His T-shirt was filled with food. His beard must have had 3 days of cake in it. His pen and pencils in his tin cup. I'm saying, he's the only blind person I know. I didn't know NFB. I didn't know anything. If I hurry, I can get to the corner across the street. Maybe I could do the same. I didn't know anybody. Went to the rehab center. At that time it was in Newark. And that's his night. I'm moving up a little bit. This is 1983 now. I leave my job at the rehab center in Newark. First day, mobility training. Great. This is before I fell into the ditch. And we go outside. She gives me this cane up to my waist. And I'm walking like I'm 92 years old with this cane. We get to the corner. She says, can you see the traffic light? I put one hand over my eye, squinted. Oh, yes, I saw the light go on top. That's red. See, you can still see. You don't need a cane. But if I call for a bus, just stand on the corner, flag every bus down when it stops, ask what it is. This is downtown Newark now. Before I was told it was Middleton Radical, I stopped the bus. Is this a 13 bus? And they go, what are you? That's not going to work. Well, you don't need a cane. If you lose more eyesight, come back and we'll teach you. If you want to keep it, keep it. So that afternoon, sometime in the early afternoon, I had ADL training. And all this stuff is on the counter, half a cup of this, half a cup of that, whatever. They're reading the recipe off to me. And I have a bowl, putting stuff in it. It just says, okay, next thing is separate 2 eggs. So I got my 2 eggs. I put one on the counter, one on a chair. So wait, I separate 2 eggs. No, that's not the way you separate 2 eggs. So I was a wise guy then too. After that class, we had communication class. And I'm blowing on my, Joey, you gotta learn Braille. You got 2 kids home, you got a wife, you got a mortgage, you need to work. You gotta work. You gotta learn this Braille. Learn this Braille. Sat down in front of the Braille writer, time to take attendance. Joe, here I am. What are you doing over there? I said, I'm gonna learn Braille. Says you can still read large print. Well, barely. She gives me the newspaper. Headlines. Hold it up to my nose. Ink on my nose. Blinking one eye, squinting. Mets lose doubleheader. See, you can still read. Go on the typewriter. So, I didn't know NFB. I didn't know who to turn to. These are the professionals. Don't learn Braille, don't learn cane travel, and separate 2 eggs this way, not the way you separate them. What do I do? Came home the first day, Judy says, how's it? Judy, I don't know. I got to go through this stuff. I got to do what I have to do. Now, remember, I managed a shoe store for a number of years. Had a lot of people working for me. Started baking. Business enterprise program. What a perfect fit. What a perfect fit. I went to visit 2 stands. This was back in 1983, before cell phones and stuff like that. So I'm talking to the 2 gentlemen about their stands at 2 different locations. The counselor went to make a call off the payphone. Then they pulled me and said, don't do it, it stinks. Everybody robs from you. Don't do this stuff. So I go back to the office. I don't want to tell my counselor what these guys said, but I went back and said, I have to do it. I need a job. So my counselor says to me in front of the gentleman running BEP, what do you think? I said, absolutely. Absolutely, I want to do it. He gets up and shuts the door, sits down, looks me in the eye. Blind gentleman, don't do it. I said, what? Don't do it. You can collect Social Security. I don't want welfare. We'll make you a 26. I says, I'm 29 or whatever. Whatever age I was, but I said, well, we'll put you down as a homemaker. Homemaker, I want to work. I need money. You got to collect Social Security. I don't want welfare. It's not welfare. It's money you paid in. You deserve this money. Again, did I know any NFB people? No. Did they tell me about NFB? No. That was their way of closing a quick case, get home, and I remember I was so guilty. I told my wife, when we get this Social Security check, I'm going to earn it. What do you mean? I'm going to volunteer 40 hours a week so I can hold my head up high. I want to earn my money. So I started volunteering for the Knights of Columbus and special ed in town and scouts. I was a scoutmaster for my 2 sons, Joe and Jim. I want to earn my money. Didn't know NFB. Didn't know NFB until about 4 or 5 years later. And of course, NFB changed my life, changed your life, changed all of our lives.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So what I want to say to you tonight is share the gift of the NFB with people. That's what we're here for. It's a great organization. When I say this organization believed in me before I believed in myself, what do I mean? What I mean by that is its members. Its members are the organization. We get our strength in numbers. The strength comes from within us. Years later, I became a massage therapist, and I worked in a senior program. But let me just backtrack one little bit here. Back in 1993, our state president, Dorothy Cafone, we couldn't find her for 2 weeks. We didn't know what happened to her. We had cops going to her house. We had no idea. We found out after 2 weeks she was in the Sung Young Moon cult thing, or whatever they call it. I'm not giving it the right name, but that's what it was. So we thought our bank account was gone. And before I knew that, I get a call from Mr. Maurer, and I answer the phone. Hello, Geruffalo speaking. He goes, hello, Mr. President. I said, no, this is Mark Maurer. Hello, Mr. President. I said, no, I'm vice president of the affiliate. What happened to Dorothy? He says, again, Mr. President, I'd like to talk to you about a few things. I'm saying, this guy is deaf and blind too? I said, no, I am vice president. Let me read this letter to you. And real short and sweet. Dear President Maurer, I, Dr. Gaffone, resign. He says to me, good morning, Mr. President. I said, good morning, Mr. Maurer. So that was in October. A week later was our meeting. I invited him to come to the meeting. He was probably going to come anyway, but I invited him, and he sat next to us. And the best part about the whole thing was our convention was in spring that year. So it gave me 6 months to see if I wanted to continue as president, and gave our members 6 months to see if they wanted me as president. And I loved it. And the rest is it. So I've been president now for 25 years. At the last convention, I made the announcement that this is my last term. So in the year 2020, I'll be stepping down as president, which gives me enough time, 2.5 years, to groom this young lady who's going to be a great president. Instead of just going in and saying, I quit, see you later, goodbye. I would never do that. Never do that. But we're here to share our stories. So let me just fast forward and I'll just end it this way. I was in a senior program, managing a senior program, and one of my clients was a gentleman by the name of James Rowe. Now, James Rowe, when I met him, was 97 years old, losing some vision. I should say losing some eyesight. He never lost his vision. I'll tell you that. Amen. And when I saw him after the intake, or during the intake, you know, we just start chit-chatting, talking. Where were you born? I said, South Carolina, 1904. Wow. Tell me what it was like in 1904 in South Carolina. Well, we lived about 30 miles away from the closest town. So we grew stuff on our little farm. And when we needed provisions, my brother and I would walk into town. Now, Mr. Ruffalo, you have to realize it's in the backwoods. So we maybe walk 10 miles a day, cutting branches down and trapping for food at night so we could eat our rabbit and fish in the pond so we could eat. It would take us 3 days to get into town and 3 days to come home. It's like 6 days to go to a store. Gosh, I guess Joe, this is not to embarrass you, but I asked my son Joe to go to the store, 15 minutes, and they give you a hard time. He really did. He's a good kid. Okay, good. But at age 15, he worked on the Panama Canal as a water boy. So what was your pay? He said, pay was 25 cents a day, room and board. I like working Sunday. Sunday was 50 cents, working half a day. Well, what's a half a day? 8 to 4, 8 to 6. He did that for 3 years, saved all his money, a couple $100, I guess. Came back and bought a truck at age 22. And for 56 years, he was a truck driver. So again, marital status. He goes, married 3 times. So I get out of my chair, went over to him, shook his hand. I said, married 3 times? He goes, yeah. What's the secret? I married once. And once is it? No, Judy, be nice now. If you know my bride, once is more than enough. And I mean, no. It didn't come out the way he wanted to. Wait a minute. I'm in trouble. I know I am. But 3 wives. Number of children. 26. Again, I got out of my chair. Again, I walked over to him and shook his hand. I says, your 3 wives gave you 26 children? So, Mr. Ruffalo, you weren't paying attention. I was a truck driver. He didn't admit to anything, but that's what he said. So fast forward now, he's 100 years old. This gentleman did 100 push-ups a day. Great physical shape. If you saw a picture, you thought he was about 65 years. In fact, he got thrown off of the senior bus on his 100th birthday. They had a new driver. Didn't think he was a senior. He threw him off the bus. He ran back to the apartment. When the bus made the loop, he came back again. He showed the guy his license. He thought it was people knew him on the bus. He's 100 years. You got to be kidding me. 100th birthday. We gave him a closed circuit TV. And he was all thrilled about it. He said, Mr. Ruffalo, you know what you just did for me? What's that? You gave me my pride and dignity back. Now when my grandkiddies come over, I can read to them. They don't have to read to me. So a gentleman in the audience says, "Hey, Ro, what's the secret to live to 100?" He runs up to that microphone, grabs the microphone, and says, 4 things you need to do to live to 100. 4 things. Number 1, he said, never, ever leave home without God in your heart. Never. Number 2, avoid stress. Avoid those family members that cause you stress. Be kind to them. Be nice to them. Blow them a kiss. Wave from a distance. But avoid them. That's the same reaction we got years ago. The same thing. 3rd thing he said, wake up every day with a purpose and a goal.
Yes.
4th thing he said, meet every challenge with a positive attitude.
Yes.
So I said to him, Mr. Rowe, you gave me banquet material. He goes, I did. Yes, you did. Those 4 things you gave were very powerful, very important. But there's 5 things you need to do in order to live to 100. So what's the 5th? I said, don't die before you're 100. Being president for 25 years, I've learned a lot. I hope I taught a lot. Every time I come to a convention such as yours, it charges my batteries. I remember my mom asked me, when my wife and I moved into my mom's house after she was ill, Joe, are you still president of the NFB? Just like 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. Yes, Mom, I am. You get paid for it? No. Well, why do you do it? Well, why did you volunteer all those years in the school system and for scouts and for the Columbians? You volunteer because you want to do it. So, but you don't get paid? I get paid. Oh, what do you get paid? A cup of coffee and a donut, a phone call when a kid calls you on the phone and says, Mr. Ruffalo, I ran for secretary in my high school. I didn't win. So what do you mean you didn't win? You won. No, I lost by 8 votes. No, you won. No, listen, you may have lost the election, but you won the respect of your class. Standing up in front of there, reading your braille, organizing your campaign, walking up on that stage with your long white cane. You won the respect of all your friends and students. You're a winner. Or when a kid calls you on the phone after the message went out that my mom passed away, you come home from the funeral, there's 25 messages on there. And there's one message from a little girl named Maria from Louisiana. I was the national rep there a few years prior. Could I pick Maria out of a gang of people? I didn't remember Maria, but she remembered me. And she left me, she was about 12 at the time when she called. She was probably 8 when I first met her. So, Mr. Ruffalo, I found out that your mom passed away. Keep good thoughts in your heart. We all love you. So with that, that's my pay. The gift of the NFB. That's what it's all about. So, in summary, we're here to help each other, learn from each other, to live the life we want, to raise our expectations. That was your cue. Well, you didn't practice either, so it's okay. Anyway, if you don't have it, it's fine. I guess it's not even here.
I'm here. I forgot. Sorry.
All right.
I'll be honest.
Don't worry about it. We've got to finish up with "Live the Life You Want," the song. Get everybody all riled up. You want to hear it one more time? Yeah. Let's go. Okay. So let me rewind the tape. Okay. Thanks, rewind. So in closing, there's your cue. In closing, we all want to raise our expectations to live the life we want. Nobody can stop. Play the song. Come on. You're playing it? Oh. Well, I'm glad way people are blind. My face is redder than a tomato up here.
No, his is better than yours.
Okay.
Try again.
Anyway, let me rewind the tape again. Shall I rewind it again?
Tell a joke. Tell a joke.
Okay. Tape is rewound. Let me know if you're ready. If not, we're gonna skip it.
I got it.
Oh, okay. You want to hear it now? They said no. No. So let me backtrack, okay? In summary, we must raise our expectations to live the life we want.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, join in.
Nobody can stop you. Shoot for the sun and break on through. So you're blind, you'll be fine. We got good news. You live the life you want. Yes, we know the truth.
Live the life you want, my brothers and sisters in the Federation of Tennessee. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for giving us your friendship. Thank you for everything you have done for me and others. We're going to grow this affiliate like no one can ever dream of, because you are the ones behind the scenes. You are the ones finding people. What do we say today? Each one,
Bring
one. Each of you can bring one extra person each year. We'll double in size. So thank you very much. Take care. Good evening. And ain't no stopping us now. We got it. Take care.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, am I a racist or what? I had that on my playlist, you know. I had it right there.
Terry,
What?
I do have that on my playlist, but I have too many. I was in the wrong playlist. Sorry about that.
So, you know, I really enjoy it when our national rep speaks at the banquet. I mean, it's great. No, I don't want anybody, Joe, don't take offense to this. I think it's great to hear what them speak at the daytime and talk about the different programs and the different services that NFB has to offer. You know, that's really informative. But when you come to the banquet and you hear the national reps speak, they tell their story. They tell their story as a blind person, and you get to know them. You know, when Joe was talking, he wasn't the national rep. He was Joe, and you got to see his heart. And, you know, that's what's important about having the national rep and speak at the banquet. And Joe, fantastic job. I'll tell Nikki you did a good job. And so thank you. I've been asked several times. My wife usually accompanies me to these conventions and is always with me at the banquet. She's not here tonight. She is in California. We have a 12-day-old grandbaby. And so I was out there until Wednesday, and I told him I had to leave. I had to come back to the convention. But she stayed out there to spend a few extra days to help them out. And so, you know, she'll be coming home tomorrow. She regretted that she couldn't be here. Speaking of my wife, I'll tell you a little story about her. We were in the condo one evening, and I accidentally picked up her telephone. And I looked in her screensaver, and it was a picture of me on her screensaver. Isn't that sweet? And you know, I was really, really touched. I mean, a little tear almost came to my eye. And I go over to my wife, and I kiss her on the cheek. And she said, "What's that for?" And I said, "Well, I just saw your screensaver." I said, "You didn't tell me." I said, "Why do you have it on there?" She said, "Well, let me tell you." She says, "You know, I'm an insurance agent, and life is stressful." And she says, "When things are going really, really bad, I look at your picture and I say, no matter how bad it is, it's not as bad as what it's going to be when I get home." So I've never tried that joke. I don't know. I need to fine tune that just a little bit. Okay, Now it's time.
On that note, we have a door prize.
Door prize. We went 2 hours. Nobody said door prize.
All righty, guys.
Hey, what happened to my door prize I won, Melissa?
What did you do with it?
She stole it.
Well, that's between you and Melissa. Okay, guys. I have a product of Spain jelly bean berry smooth red wine blend.
What is it?
So, is Betty Ford here? Betty Ford, going once, going twice. Robert Christie.
Robert Christie.
Not here. Lawrence Johnson.
Lawrence Johnson.
One more, Madam President?
Yes, go for one more.
All righty. How about a $25 gift card to Outback from TABM? And drum roll, please.
Yes! Yes!
Julia Williams.
Is that it for now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next up is our Federationists of the Year. And actually, I was scheduled to make this presentation before that I was asked to MC this. So I knew I was going to be addressing you guys tonight to present the Federationists of the Year. And you always pick one member that really personifies what the Federation is all about. One who works hard, and to benefit blind people, and works hard to benefit the affiliate, their chapter, their division, and whatever it might be. This person is clearly a hard worker, and somebody that you can always count on when there's work to be done. Somebody that doesn't ask for any of the credit, doesn't want the glory, doesn't want to be out front, but is willing to do the work that needs to be done. This person is an officer, is on the board in her chapter, is an officer in her division, is an officer on the national level in her division, and someone that at every level is respected, is well known around the country. I call her a worker bee, from the Scenic City chapter, from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the Federationist of the Year, who is a member of the board of the Scenic City, who is our treasurer, which is probably the most underappreciated job in the affiliate, and who is on the national board of the National Association of Blind Merchants, and is also just the past president of the Tennessee Association of Blind Merchants. The Federation of the Year is Melissa Smith. Come up here, Melissa. Where are you? You had to be present to win. Now, the funny thing is, this comes with $100. You get $100 for being Federationist of the Year. She's the treasurer, so she got to write herself a check for $100. So whoever's on the audit committee next year, and you see that she's writing checks to herself, there is an explanation. Melissa?
Thank you, but I don't deserve this. No, I don't. No, I do not. But thank you, everyone. We work together as a team. That's what it's about, to build what we have. Today when everybody was talking about, past, present, presidents, it takes everyone. working together. You know, I know everybody don't agree to disagree, but you know, it does take everybody.
Yes.
You know, we may not always, but it does. You have to work together to get what we have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. And since I've had to answer this question so many times today, just individually, we are not related, okay? So we are both from Chattanooga, both last name Smith, but we are not related. So,
She says, thank God about that.
yeah, we both say thank God about that. That's mutual.
She said, get your old damn blanket.
So next, we go to the scholarships.
All right.
Okay, if our scholarship chair will come up, and whoever's going to be presenting the scholarships. Also, if you remember this morning, one of our scholarship people couldn't be here. We're going to ask her to come up now at this time, so you can at least get to know who she is and talk with her. Today, Shalita, are you in here? Okay, would you mind coming up and sort of introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about you? You are one of the 3 finalists for, well, you're already a scholarship winner, but you're one of the 3 finalists for the big one. So welcome to Daisha.
Thank you, thank you. As some of you know, my name is Tadeja Little. This is my first year being involved with NFB. So I'm very glad to be here. It's been a special experience. I've learned a lot. I will use this scholarship to the best of my ability. I got accepted to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University. And that is the college I will be attending for my freshman all the way to my, hopefully, senior year. And I hope that this college year for me, this college experience will be very special. And I want to keep this NFB experience in my heart as I go along. One of the things that I've learned in my experience here is that never give up, and after pain is success, no matter what.
Okay, we're going to turn it over. Okay, if all 3 of the today, I'm sorry, but if you could come back up, if all 3 of the scholarship finalists could come up here to the front, Roxy and Seth. Again, you got to be present to win. So if you're not here, you're SOL. Yes. So if you can come around to the back here, they're working their way up. Okay. Okay, there's a fight going on back here on who's going up next. I'll tell you another joke until they figure. No, I'm not. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to John Harris, who has chaired this committee for the last several years, and I know that these college kids are dear to his heart. He built a career at Middle Tennessee State University in disabled student services. And for those of you who don't know, I started my career at Middle Tennessee State University coordinating the services for blind students there way back in it was 19 and John Harris was a student there at that time. And when I left a year later, he succeeded me, and he took over not only the blind program but all disabled students, and really did a fantastic job while he was there, building a strong program for disabled students. And so he's a natural to be involved with this committee. Has done a great job. Welcome, John Harris.
Thank you, Terry. It's good to be here, and he's right. It's a lot of fun to do this, and an honor to pass this award. And I would tell you all that if you want to look for something to do on the Federation that's really where you see the benefits of what you're doing and feel the benefits of what you're doing. This is a very good committee to be on. It's a lot of amazing things that we learn about what our scholarship winners are doing, our students are doing, and what they're doing out there is amazing. When I first started this, and it's just, the future is bright with a lot of the things that's out there. And so it's an honor to do this, and we have 3 winners here tonight. And I started this, and I think we had 1 or 2 would apply. I said, why aren't people applying for this money? Something like that. And finally, after a number of years, I don't know how many years I've been on there, it was probably 7 or 8 or whatever. We had 9 applicants this year. That's the largest number we've ever had, and since I was here, and 7 of them were eligible to receive this scholarship, and we give 3 out here today, and the top 3 are here tonight to. Oh, I might forget. I'm blind, And don't you know? So you're blind? No, I can't say. But anyway, but 3 of them are here. 3 winners are here tonight, and our committee was Greg Self from the Knoxville chapter. What's that? What y'all call this up here? The volunteer chapter up here, and Dr. Carter out of the Memphis chapter, and who am I missing here? Steve Norman helped us with some stuff, and then the 2 technology people, Jimmy, who's in. Well, I hope he's still in Kenya, but alive. Come back. We need him back. And then we had another, and then Josh Harper, of course, huh? And so those are the people who were there. And Greg and Dr. Carter and myself had the honorable chore of trying to decide out of these 7 people that were eligible and getting it down to 3. And the top 3 are here to receive the scholarship tonight. Carter, you want to give these names? All right. So, and because she's going to after this, I've decided that. I remember James Brown called me 5, 6 years ago and said, John, we need there's a problem with the scholarship. Can you get back and can you come help us with this? I barely just become a member of the chapter. And I was so glad that I'm glad, James, thanks for calling me and asking me to serve as chair of this. This has been a remarkable experience. I really like it, one of the most fun things, as I said, I've ever done in my life. And I came here and to build this back up. And as I said, it's one of the things that if you want to do in here, do it. And I'm going to let Dr. Carter, who is going to succeed me after this tonight, and I'm going to be out in the audience laughing and having fun with you guys from here on. And I think, and I'll enjoy that. But she's really done a really great job this year, pulling things together for us and getting everything worked out. And so, hey, I'm going to be replaced by a doctor. Can't beat that, can you?
Yeah, thank God for Mr. Harris. It's been a pleasure working with him in this committee this year. So, the time that we've been waiting for, it's okay. I was talking to Josh. So, the time that we've been waiting for to announce our winners. First of all, let's give a hand of applause for all 3 of our great scholarship winners. And as you come up, we want to get pictures. So when you come up, just stay up here. So can I have a drum roll, please? Our 3rd place winner, which will receive $500 for the scholarship, is Tadeja Little.
All right.
Come up here. We want to get pictures. I don't know. Someone's taking a picture. We'll get one. We'll get it when everybody's up.
We'll get it.
All right. Okay. Drum roll, please.
I have a real drum roll. Real one.
Okay. All right. Our second place winner, Miss Roxana Lewis. And yours, Miss Roxana? Where are you? Right here. Hers is $750. So, what does that mean? Our first place winner, $1,000, Mr. Seth Painter. Yeah. Okay. So we'll give you guys to say just a little bit in the order that you were called up, starting with Tadeja, then Miss Roxana, and Mr. Seth Painter. Just a minute or two.
You can hit it. Good. You can do it.
Okay, first I want to say thank you again for NFB and everybody that came today. Means a lot to me. This scholarship money, I want to see where it's going to take me in my future in college to pursue my career with multimedia artists. And hopefully this experience will be very good for me. I'm sorry, I'm kind of speechless right now. But yeah, thank you again, everybody.
I'm kind of speechless myself, but I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you. This means it means a lot. And he's not here, but if you ever see Robert Christie, I'm saying thank you to him because he's the one that got me into the NFB.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to say within the past 2 days, you've already given me so much. It means so much. And now that you've given, the scholarship, such great opportunities, I can't wait till I'm able to give back to this community for what they've done for me. I don't want anyone to go through, high school and their IEPs feeling the same way we did. I want, everyone with the disability to feel accepted. And I just want to thank you all so much, So I'm blind, I'll be fine. And now it's time for me to live the life I want.
All right.
Either go to the right or left, one of the sides.
To their left.
There you go.
All right, congratulations, guys. Everybody go to your left, the scholarship winners. Who's going to get the picture? All right, Josh has it.
Come over here, guys.
Oh, yeah, all the way over to all the way over. All the way over.
Come on over.
Okay. Door prize. There you go, the magic word. Door prize takes priority. You got to. Door.
Sharon Trent right here.
No. She had to leave.
I'll take it for her though.
Sheila Hinton.
Oh, there's no way. Wow, yeah, I
That was
know.
not a setup.
Where is
Walk
she?
right over here.
All right. Okay. We got 2 more door prizes.
She wants to know what she won.
The leftover donuts from last night.
She won a bottle of cupcake sparkling red wine.
Oh, wow.
Think that's great.
All right. Lock the doors. It's
Lock
time
the doors.
for our Mick pledges. Before we do that, I want to say this to the students. And my challenge to the students is, I want to see you here next year.
Yeah.
It's very easy to come and get your scholarship and then forget all about it. The key is, to come back and be part of the movement. So I challenge the students to all be with us in Middle Tennessee next year when we have our 51st annual convention. So it's time for our pledges. Melissa, you got pen and paper in hand? Okay, we can do it. We can do this. We are flexible. We take cash. We take credit cards and checks and PayPal. And we take pledges. Whatever it takes, we want your money. And I want to say this. The board yesterday postponed a decision on having 2 bell programs this year. And we're going to be having a telephone conference call in less than 2 weeks to decide, are we going to be able to afford those programs or not? And we'll know the answer in just a few minutes. So please, please, please donate. And if you don't have the money with you, you can send the check later. Like I said, you can write a check tonight. You can give a credit card tonight, whatever. We'll take care of you.
And please, guys, please say your name and wait till you get a mic so that we can all hear what you're saying, so that we can make sure we notate it, especially if it is a pledge.
Okay, first one, please stand up and or raise your hand so that Josh can see you. Over here, standing up over here, Josh, to the left. Going to get it started out.
Curtis Tillman from the Memphis chapter. I pledge $100. Here it is.
All right, $100. He gave it. It's in hand. Is it cash?
Yes, sir, cash.
There's your Federationist of the Year award, Melissa. Okay, who's next?
You got a hand over here, Mr. Taylor.
I can't see him, so well, somebody's standing up right here.
Courtney Williams, part of Northeast chapter, $100.
How much?
Pledge.
How much is
Williams
it?
is pledging $100.
$100 pledge from Courtney Williams.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Courtney Williams.
Is this on? Malika Zubin from the Nashville chapter. I pledged $20 yesterday.
$20 from Malika. Thank you, Malika. Pledge $20.
Please stand so we can see you.
Yes, stand up if you want.
John Harris, I'll match the $100 that was given first.
All right, John Harris, $100. Is it cash pledge or what? Cash. Woo!
In here.
We do like the green stuff. All right.
Tara Tate, $25 in hand.
Tara Tate, $25 in hand. All right. Thank you, Tara Tate. Who's next?
Betty Tucker, $75.
Betty Tucker, $75.
That's in hand cash.
Cash. Boy, we love it. You guys came prepared. Woo! All right.
Give us 1 second, guys.
All right.
1 second. Hold on. We're making sure we get everybody's names down.
Any amount counts.
All righty.
Christina's getting them too.
That's fine, we just want to go.
All right. Somebody over here?
Cherie Terry, I want to pledge $50.
Cherie Terry, $50. Thank you, Cherie. Come on now. Josh is headed to the back of the room. Somebody wants attention.
Roxy Lewis, $50.
Roxy Lewis, $50.
And that's cash in hand, Roxy Lewis.
Yep, there went part of her scholarship money. That's dedication. Thank you to the Scenic City chapter. Who's next? Byron Meter, the president of the Scenic City chapter, $50. Thank you, Byron. HK Derryberry, what you got over there, HK? Wait, I can't hear it. Byron is $50.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hold on, wait. You want to make sure everybody hears.
Are we caught up?
Yes, I got.
$25 in hand.
$25. HK Dairyberry. Thank you, HK. Love you, man. Okay. We got it. We got it. Who's next?
Christina Cliff.
Christina Clift, our president.
Well, I challenge any of our chapter presidents. I will do 200.
Woo! $200 from our president, Christina Clift. All right. Anybody else? Y'all still working that side of the room? Is that cash, check, money order? What is that? Half and half. Half and half to me means half unsweet and half sweet tea.
All right.
All right.
From the Northeast chapter, we're donating, pledging $50.
Northeast chapter pledges $50. Thank you. Look into you.
Hannah Altamar on behalf of Seth Painter. I'm going to do 100 and challenge him to donate 100 in the next year.
Ah. Okay, what was it? You got that one, Christina? Hannah?
Yeah.
Okay, there was a challenge there. All right. Who's up next?
I feel invisible. I've been standing.
I know you have. I've been ignoring you, James, because I know that whatever you say, I'm going to match. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You done said it, Terry. It's on record.
All right, so we got a PayPal coming in payment of $250.
$250 from James Brown.
Sheila Hanson, $10. I got it right here.
Wait, what's that?
Sheila Hanson, I got $10. I got it right here.
Let's go.
Shelly Hanson?
Sheila
Hanson.
Good.
How much was it, Sheila?
10.
10. All right. Who's next?
Come on, Memphis. I know y'all got more money than that.
Oh, James Broadnax. Get the microphone to him. I want to hear this. We didn't hear it.
James Broadnax, 200 in hand.
Woo! $200 in hand. Man, you guys got green stuff, carrying cash like it's nothing. All right. We're only getting started now. Who's up next? Who's up next? We got somebody?
Rosie Young, Memphis chapter, $300 check.
Rosie Young, $300 check.
Come on, Miss Rosie.
Oh, all right.
Way to go, Rosie. Memphis looking good.
Hey, represent y'all. Come on.
All right, who's up? Okay, go.
Mr. Joe, I have RP also, but God bless me not to elect me until I was 70 years old. So I'm getting a pledge of $50.
All right.
$50. She's 80 now? All right.
Joe and Judy Ruffalo.
Wait, hold on. I got this, Mark. Go.
Joe and Judy Ruffalo, $50 in hand.
All right, $50 cash. That's New Jersey money, and I want you to know the economy is really bad in New Jersey. It's so bad that the mafia is laying off judges. That's a Nikki Gakos joke. Okay, you got somebody else? Melissa, Josh?
Hold on. Come on, Terry. You got it. 300 is the highest for Memphis.
We can't hear.
He wanted to know who was the highest.
$300 is the highest. What's that?
They're talking about. Okay, 300?
$300 from Terry Woody? Yes. Is it in hand, cash, check, or a lie? Credit card, all right. A prayer. Open a prayer. John Harris. Okay. Who? I think there's several out here that can match it. Okay, who's up next? All right. Got a hand in the back. Melissa's running back there.
Ruth and Philip Sager, $50.
Ruth and Philip Sager, $50. Thank you so much. $50. Out-of-staters coming in and helping out. Okay. Here we go.
This is Deanna and Andrew Moore, $100.
All right.
And that was card, guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, what was the last one? $100 credit from, got it. All right, who's next? Come on now. Yeah, the doors are still locked. So I will start singing until somebody makes a pledge. Well, I'm going to sing Rocky Top. Wish that I was down on Rocky Top, down in the Tennessee hills. Okay, that's enough. All right, somebody, we got anybody else to make a pledge? Is there she's going to start doing a total. And while she does that, I will pledge, my wife and I will make a pledge of $500. Actually, I have a check. I brought a check with me so I could pay it, so I wouldn't forget it. So, you take a card?
I'd rather have the check. We don't have to pay fees.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else while she totals it up? Okay, she's going to total it up. Let's just give us just a minute while she does that, which gives me a chance to tell you my last joke of the night. So there was a man, and he had a 9-year-old daughter, and it was her birthday, and he forgot to get her anything for her birthday. He's leaving work. He said, oh my gosh, I forgot my daughter's birthday. I got to get her something. What am I going to do? He goes by the toy store. He doesn't know what to get a 9-year-old girl. And he goes in and he tells the girl, he says, I've got a 9-year-old daughter. It's her birthday. I don't know what to get. What should I get? And she says, well, a Barbie doll is always dependable. And so he says, okay, let me see the Barbie dolls. And she says, okay, this is our standard Barbie doll. She's $9.99. He says, okay, what else? She says, this is our Barbie goes to the prom. She's $9.99. He says, okay, great. What else you got? This is Barbie goes to the beach. How much is she? She's $9.99. What else you got? He said, this is our formal Barbie. She's $9.99. And he said, well, what's this one over here? And she said, oh, that's divorced Barbie. And he says, well, how much is she? And he says, $99.99. He said, well, why is she so expensive? He said, well, he comes with Kim's car, Kim's house, Kim's. Okay. We are. Okay. Any, okay.
Debbie Probst and Art Probst, $100.
Okay, guys. In hand, we are at $2,900. They will not unlock the doors until we're at $3,000. That's what they said. So somehow you guys got to come up with $100. We're at $29. What?
Another $100 to give a bell program.
We need $100 so we can make sure we got the bell program. Come on, somebody. I don't care if it's $1 a person for everybody, or $5, or $50, or one person give $100. We need a pledge.
Steve and Michelle.
Willie, wait, what is it?
Steve and Michelle Quinn will pledge $100.
$100. We got Willie over here too, Willie. It's okay. We can go over 3,000.
Willie will, I'll pledge you $100.
$100. All right. We're at 3,100. Anybody else? Anybody else? $3,100. We can do this. Wait, hold on.
All right, people. I owe you $250 from a McPledge I made in honor of Scott Young. I have a check for $300.
All right.
So that every Tennessee child will grow up with hope and no braille. And viva la viva. Él quiere.
Yes. So that gets us to 3,400. Got to get to 35. 35. Come on. Come on. $3,500. We need $100 more.
I need $300-400 for a cruise.
And I promise, if we get $100, I'll think about unlocking the door.
Every little thing counts.
Anybody? $3,400.
Come on, people.
We need $100. We're not going to stop $100 short.
You can miss going to the bar tonight. It's worth it. Close up until midnight. You can share tonight.
All right.
Okay, guys. I'm going to pledge the other 100 that we.
There you go. Josh Harper, $100. We're at $3,500. Last call. Anybody got a pledge? Was that a pledge, a check, or what, Josh? Pledge.
It was a pledge.
All right. Anybody else?
Melissa Smith.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Melissa.
She's thinking.
501 Terry Smith.
We played this game 2 years ago.
Is that in hand? Is that in hand or in cash? Or
In hand.
In hand? You got $500 cash?
No, by check.
Oh, check.
Terry's thinking. Terry's thinking.
You on the spot.
On the spot? Okay. What are we at? We're at 4,000? $4,001. So I will up my pledge. And Melissa, I think your kids are calling. They're warning you outside. They are calling you. They need you desperately outside. It's an emergency. Yeah, it's an emergency. What's he say? He's not home. He was here. Oh.
She said, go get your damn blanket.
All right. I'm going to close it out. What are we at? $4,001. Okay. I'm going to say, I want to up my pledge from 500, no, to $599. We're at $4,100 and we're closed. We're out of business. $4,100, and I beat you, Melissa. And so we have.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. I said it's closed. It's closed. It's closed.
I'm not even gonna write my $100 check and it can go back too.
Oh, no.
Mic drop.
Oh, a mic drop. That's right. So she just, I want to bow down to her. I'm not going to play this game. She wins. So we're at $4,200. Congratulations for, a great job in donating and contributing and helping the cause of the National Federation of Blind in Tennessee. Give yourself a round of applause. Good job. So let me just say this. My last words are that, I really appreciate the opportunity to do this tonight. I had a good time, although I didn't get to do it. Funny thing about it was Christina sent me the agenda to look at it. She sent the draft agenda and it said, Master of Ceremonies at Banquet, Terry Smith. I said, what's this about Terry Smith? I said, I didn't know anything about this. She said, oh, that's supposed to be Jason Fox. So I fixed it. I put Jake, she said, we just put you in as a placeholder. I was a placeholder. And so she said, so I put in Jason Fox on the agenda, the final agenda, and fixed it up and sent it back to her. Then I get here and I'm Jason Fox. Yes. So, great job. But I've enjoyed it. We've had a great convention, but we're not over. We get down to business tomorrow. And also remind you that the hospitality room in 403, is it 403? Yes. I think it's open until midnight. And if you, I would ask you just to be a little quiet up there. I think there was some problem with noise last night. But feel free, go by. They got refreshments up there. And enjoy the hospitality. Enjoy the camaraderie of your fellow federationists. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our president for our final word. Are we out of door prizes? Door prize! Okay. After the door prizes, the next voice you hear will be Christina Cliff.
Alrighty. We have a $25 gift card to Outback from TABM for Miss Deborah Carter. And our last thing is we have a NFB mug and some chocolate. And these are some Big Buck milk chocolate flavored candies. Loretta Brown, are you here? Loretta Brown.
She's here. All
Yep,
right.
I see her.
That's it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All done.
All righty. Well, we have had a wonderful banquet. We were well fed with wonderful food. There's still food over there, apparently. We had some great speeches, some wonderful jokes, and some even better entertainment. And I want to say we had some great members who contributed almost enough money to fund a whole entire residential bell program. So through your gift of donations, pledges, and credit cards, however you are paying them, you will give students in our state the ability to live the lives they want because they learn Braille and they learn non-visual skills. So thank you very much. On that note, we will adjourn. There is a worship service at 7:30 a.m., non-denominational, led by the effervescent Miss Janet Jackson, Deborah Carter, and Lawrence Johnson. And they will be glad to have you for an hour. General session starts at 9 o'clock. And it will all be held in the Neeland Ballroom, where we've had general session. So right where you are right now, that's where you will be tomorrow morning. Be on time so you hopefully can win that door prize. We don't know when it's coming, but we have a nice cash, or at least a check door prize for everybody. One last thing, congratulations to all of our scholarship winners. And in wrapping, the one last thing I want to do is where are those students at anyway? They're still here. Come back up here, students. One last time. One last time.
We gotta get your picture.
I know, I was told I have to take a picture.
So.
And I dodge pictures because of warrants and stuff.
So would they all go start with Christina and Mr. Ruffalo? Go to your right of the stage. And hey, Christina, we're journeying, right?
Huh?
We're journeying, right?
Is that, yes. Oh, no, these kids are gonna help me out. Kids.
Hold on.
All right, so
Wait.
all right, so they're gonna in unison say this last message, and I know it'll get a warm round of applause. Y'all ready? And 1, 2, and 3.
Tighten up!
Well, no, that wasn't it. So sorry. Okay, and 1. Okay, Joe. All right.
Good. You're in front of me. You're right in my stomach. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
One, 2, 3. Thanks, kids. There you go. So we give a big thanks to the parents who helped them get here because it was a lot of hard work.
So I've been told we're going to close out with a song.